No problem, Paul. How are you doing?
Okay, no, now this coming Friday and following Tuesday, we have two games in the women's friendly matches. The importance is this is Eileen Gleason's first two games as the permanent manager. So this Friday they're away to Italy, and then next Tuesday they're at home to Wales. So we have a squad there that was announced about a week or 10 days ago. So we'll just look at it. I know there's a couple of changes, but we'll just look at it through it again there. So the goalkeeper again, I think, Courtney Brosnan again, Grace Maloney, and is Sophie Whitehouse, is she a new player? Or
Yeah,
no, so,
yeah. She's been in a few squads yet, Paul. I don't think she's made her debut yet. I'm open to correction on that. But yeah, they're the three goalkeepers that's been there for the last couple of squads, and they're all vying for position. But Courtney Brosnan has pretty much nailed down as number one. Hopefully, you would think maybe the other goalkeepers might get some game time, maybe coming on as a sub. It is friendlies at the end of the day, but yeah, Courtney Brosnan is the established number one, and it's up to Maloney and Whitehouse to force their way in.
yeah. Now we look at the defenders there. Again, there's much the same defenders. I see Neve Fahey's back now again. She was there in the World Cup. I think she got injured afterwards. She might have missed out in a few games in the Nations League, but she's back in again there. Is there any new players there? Is it much the same? I see Caitlin Hayes there, who's doing very well in Scotland. So is it much the same?
Yeah, much the same, Paul. A few, as you said, coming back into the squad. There's been out through injury. Megan Campbell at Everton, she's been out for. She was actually doing analysis with RT for a couple of games there last year during the World Cup and stuff. But she's back into the squad. If Mannion, who at Manchester United, she's been awfully plagued with injuries over the last couple of seasons, but she's back into the squad. She was on the bench, I think, for the United game at the weekend against Arsenal. Niamh Fahey, she's at Liverpool, of course. She's had her injury problems over the last couple of weeks and months, but she's also back in the squad. So yeah, it's an experienced squad. Paul, Diane Caldwell, Fahey, uh, Campbell, they're all very good, experienced players, experienced defenders. So it's great to have them back in the squad. And it's competition now, and for the squad is massive. So Louise Quinn there, I think she passed a fitness test for her last couple of squads. She's at Birmingham City now. So yeah, good experience. All know each other. There's good communication between all of them on the pitch because our defenses are. Defense is one of our strong points over the Nations League campaign. As we know, we finished top of the group, gave very few goals away. So we have a settled squad now at the back. And if there's new defenders coming in, they're going to have to take their chance because it's pretty much an established defensive line at the moment that we have. Obviously, Niamh, I know with through injuries, Niamh and Jordan's are out, but they're very good, experienced players to qualify for the World Cup, and they're it's up now to judges like Caitlin Hayes has taken her chance in the Nations League, for example, and she's in the squad now. She's an established player now, so it's up to the other players to take their chance whenever the other players are out.
Yeah. Now we look at the midfield. There was the squad that was named there. We have a lot of the regulars, but there was two players that are out through injury, and Denise O'Sullivan and Tyler Toll, and the replacement will come to them in a second. But the rest of them there, they seem to be much the same. Or that's the same, but the regular would say the rest of them I can't see any new one there. Is it? Can you?
No, I think we're pretty much pretty. It's I think maybe as you said yourself, Denise O'Sullivan and Tyler Toll are out. It's up. Denise Sullivan she is a massive loss. She's one of our best players, other than Katie McCabe. I think she's our most important player. Um, Tyler Turner, she actually did very well in the Nations League. She's out of the squad for a couple of years. We're very proud through disagreement. We don't know. I don't know exactly the full details, but she wasn't in the squad for a couple of years. But she's back in it now. She's taking her chance in the Nations League, doing very very well. Unfortunately, misses out through injury. So yeah, Rochelle Littlejohn, Heather Payne, Lucy Quinn, Izzy Atkinson, they all they all went to the World Cup. So yeah, it's I say Lucy Quinn. I've been impressed with her, Lucy Quinn. I think she's done very very well for Ireland. And I think she scored the first goal at the Women's International DV Stadium. She always gives us her all. She's at Birmingham City. Actually, a number of players for the Irish squad actually played our football at Birmingham City. I think herself and Louise Quinn and a few others. I just can't remember the top of my head now who else is there. But yeah, she's one of our best players. Heather Payne, she does a lot of does a lot of work off the ball. She does very well down the wings. Megan Connolly sometimes plays in the back four, sometimes plays in midfield, so she's a very fertilized. She utilised her a lot. Lilia, good technical player as well. So yeah, I think it's a settled squad in midfield now, and
And a quick look at the forwards there, and
and
again the 5 names, the regulars will say they're always most in the squad. So just a quick word before we look at the 2 new players.
Yeah, Ciara Carusa and Abby Larkin there have been. Carusa now is pretty much nailed on her, the striker now for Ireland at the moment. She always starts. She's got a couple of goals got a goal against Northern Ireland, goal against Hungary if I'm not mistaken as well. She's a lot of the time she used to hold up the ball, bring other players into, but she's adding a lot of goals now with her changing formation, changing systems. But she is getting a lot more chances, and she is converting a lot more chances as well. So that's something that's good. Abby Larkin, very good player. I think she's only 19, 18 or 19. She's very, very young. She's got to move to, I think it's Crystal Palace. She plays her football now in England. And of course, there Amber Barr. She was out of the last couple of squads. She's back in it now. She hasn't played. Maybe I might be mistaken. She might have been in the last squad, but she hasn't. She's not a regular at the moment in the Irish national team because Carusa is pretty much nailed down that striker spot. And Leanne Kernan, she was a player at Liverpool, and she's been plagued by injuries over the last couple of years, but thankfully now she's back in the Irish squad, and hopefully she can make a difference.
Yeah. Now, as we said, 2 players have been called up. Both of them, I believe, play with Piedmont United in the League of Ireland.
That's right, yeah.
He would say so. We just have their midfielder, Erin McCall, I'd say she looks a young, inexperienced player, but I think that's brilliant. Now, so I don't know anything about it, but she looks a young player. So coming through the League of Ireland, Piedmont are one of the top teams in it. So this is what you have to do. And I suppose the only disappointment, they weren't in it in the original squad. But they've been called up now to injuries. We'll just a quick word on her. I don't know much about her, but she's getting called up.
I think she may not have been in the squad before, Paul, but you're right. It is important for the League of Ireland players in particular because obviously it's a pathway to the national team. If you're doing well for the League of Ireland clubs, doing well at home, you can get a chance to play for your country. I think it's very important for say like the grassroots of Irish football to get in. If you're good enough and if you're on form, then there's no reason why you shouldn't. Because I think Ireland needs to. We can't forget like the areas like Abby Larkin was playing with I think Shamrock Rovers and Shelburne and players like teams like that, and Kitty McCabe of course I think has a sister playing at Shamrock Rovers. So we need to make sure that we utilise all the best players in the League of Ireland as well, and not always just rely on England, because we've seen in the past with I know I'm not comparing like with like now here, but it's just an example. We can't always depend on the English system. Players going over there and doing very well. Sometimes they come home and because the standard in England is probably higher, but we can't forget our own League of Ireland players as well. If they're good enough,
and that's the second game call up there now. Justice Joe. Now I presume they're playing underage teams anyway, maybe at international level, maybe. So it's not just coming straight from the League of Ireland. They would have underage international experience that's travelling away.
Yeah, but I suppose it's important too that when you're playing with League of Ireland, that you still have a chance to play for Ireland. You don't have to always go over to England. Now, the way things sadly are in Ireland, men's and women's, if someone impresses at international level and they find out the League of Ireland, an English club come in, or a Scottish club like Celtic, for example, they come in, it's very hard for a League of Ireland team to turn that down. And so it's very hard. I suppose a lot of the League of Ireland players, if they're good enough and if they have a chance to go to England, they probably will. It's just a fact of life, sadly.
Yeah, and of course it depends on their family circumstances too, or if they're in college or what. It isn't just automatically, but some of them will be able to go, will want to go, but maybe some of them just might, for personal reasons or family reasons or work reasons, might stay. I know the top league in England is professional. The second league is a championship. I think they're full time, but I don't know. They would be getting some bit of payment, but they wouldn't be getting as much as in the Women's Super League. So a lot of them would have jobs as well, maybe, or be in college as well. So it mightn't suit every Irish player to go across.
Well, that's a very fair point. What family circumstances come into as well, and will the move suit the player? So that all comes into it. But I suppose the carrot that it's very hard to turn it down. If you get to England and you do well, you can eventually get into double. So like with the men's team in the championship, get to the Premier League and stuff like that. It can all be effective like that. But you're right, family circumstances and how it suits the player and kind of work. So that all comes into as well, Paul. But just to get back to the Irish team, I think Jess Fitzgerald, I think this is our first international call-up, if I'm not mistaken. She'll make her debut if she just come on in these 2 games. And look, it'll be a good experience for her, and hopefully she can do well in the 2 games if she gets on. Yeah,
and of course the first game is this Friday against Italy. Now, I presume Italy wouldn't be at the very top, but they wouldn't be far off it. Like France, Spain, England, Germany, Sweden, etc. The Netherlands would be probably the top level,
Yeah.
but I think Italy would be just right behind them. So you have to be playing and away from home. These are the games you have to be playing because there's no good playing teams below you the whole time. You have to be playing teams away from home, maybe slightly better than you, put yourself under a bit of pressure.
Yeah. Well, this is it, Paul. This is probably a big year for the Irish international team in women's football because we had the Nations League and we're in League B, and to be fair, I suppose the Irish team was expected to get promotion. To be quite honest with you, the teams who were playing Northern Ireland were ahead of them now. As you can clearly see, we won 6-1 away. They were going to beat them 3-0 at home. Hungary did the same. We hammered them hammered them in Hungary. Funny enough, we struggled against them at home, and Albania. So we had a couple of hard games, but we were expected to win, and we would have been very disappointed if we didn't win the games. So we won all the games home and away. So I think we did what we were expected to do. And to be honest, if the team now wants to be seen at a different standard, if you get me, Paul, because we've improved an awful lot since like qualifying for the World Cup. Now, obviously, we were in a very tough group for the standard room. We're not going to go into it all, but they want now to progress every time. So this is a big year for Irish international football and women's football in the women's game because, as I said, they're playing against Italy, they're playing at home to Wales. This is a good preparation now for the European qualifiers because we're probably going to be playing tougher teams now because the higher ranking we get.
Sorry, not for cutting across. Now you mentioned it. Team qualifiers will be on the autumn, I presume, and the draw will be sometime is it April or sometime the draw.
April, yeah, I think it's in April, yeah. So we're going to be expected now to be qualifying. Well, the outside noise would be that we should be qualifying for the Euros because we qualified for the World Cup. I think now with the Nations League, since we finished top of the group, got promoted to League A, that there is a backup of a player. But I think the team now, Arlene Gleeson, she's got the gig now. She's in position. She's permanent manager now. She will be judged probably harder now in terms of that she's permanent manager. With the Nations League, we were thinking like she was just filling the gap for the new manager. It turns out now she is the new manager, and it's a different vibe, Paul. When you know the players know now you're the number one person in there. It's all about performance and all about results because with the Nations League, let's be fair, as I said earlier on, the teams we would be expected to beat them. So that's the standard now we've got in the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years. Started with Colin Bell, then Vera Powell, and now with Eileen Gleeson. It's progression every time. So there's going to be teams now that are going to be gunning for us. Like maybe we'd be ranked a little bit higher than them, but they'd be seeing us as a big scalp, like we would have been like 5 or 6 years ago. So we're up there now, and we're going to have to try and stay up there. So yeah, at the end of the day, that they'll be expected, whatever way they go, whether it's finish first or second or through the playoffs. We if we don't qualify for the Euros, whether it's maybe we can judge them at a higher level, it would be a disappointment. So it's all about results based business now, and to qualify for the World Cup now. The backup now is trying to qualify for the Euros, and